I've always wanted to learn the bird call, and I want to see just how good I can get by trying to imitate different birds from easy to downright impossible. I've got my hands in position, so let's just give it a go. So I just started blowing, trying different things with both my hands and mouth. But despite trying every single combination I could think of, I got nowhere. Update report. So I've been doing this for about 50 minutes and something has just happened. I'm feeling really lightheaded. So this is not going to be as easy as I thought. Because my great idea of simply winging it didn't work, I looked up a few tutorials which taught me two things. The first thing is that you want your little bowl to be airtight. So to do this, you want to take the meaty bit at the bottom of one hand and place it along the bottom of the fingers on the other hand. And then simply curl everything in until you have this airtight bowl. And so now, if I blow into the bowl, like, I have to blow pretty damn hard for any air to escape. The second is that air needs to go in and out through the same hole. So when you have your hand in your bowl, you have this little space between your thumbs, which is here. And if you place your mouth on the knuckle of your thumb, there should be enough space at the bottom of that hole between your thumbs for the air to come back out. Armed with this new knowledge, I started practicing again. Did you hear that? I was sick. There we go, I got it. Okay. Hell yeah. So now that I can whistle, let's see if I can try and make the first bird sound, which is going to be from an owl. The owl just repeats the same note over and over, so it doesn't get much easier than that. My owl sounds like it's got a bit of stage fright, so let's fix that. So I kept on practicing to improve my consistency, and the first thing I discovered was that even though I was making a sound, my grip was wrong. Now, I was really squeezing my hands together to make sure that my little bowl was airtight, but actually that's really unnecessary. As long as your little bowl can hold water without too much of it leaking out, you're good to go. And that doesn't require that much pressure. And the rule about having to have the meaty part at the bottom of one hand on the bottom of the fingers on the other hand isn't like an exact rule, it's more of a guideline. And so you want to take that original position and kind of move your hands around a bit to find something that works well for you. I also realized that I wasn't blowing correctly. So you want to blow the air at a specific angle. So for me, when I blow the air straight forwards, I get nothing. But if I blow the air slightly down, then... First try, baby! So now that I'm consistent, let's have another go at making the owl call. That was pretty good. So that was pretty cool. But how many bird calls do you know with a single note? That's right, not many. So we're gonna have to spice things up a bit if we want to get to our next bird call, which is from the woodpecker. From what I've seen, all you have to do to get higher pitched notes is to simply open your hand like this. So that's what we're gonna do. So I tried this for a while, and I'm feeling faint again. And the more I tried, the more I got annoyed because nothing was happening. But I think I've finally figured it out. And it's kind of like blowing into a bottle. So when you reduce the space of air in a bottle, you get a higher pitched sound. And that's kind of what you're trying to replicate with your hands. So this movement isn't really about opening your outer hand. It's about pushing the base of this hand inwards. So if you see I'm opening it up, the base gets pushed inwards, which reduces the space in your little bowl, which creates the higher pitched note. So with this in mind, I tried again, paying special attention to try and maintain the seal between my hands. So it did take some time, but watch this. I can make different notes now. That's sick. And when I'm making those higher pitched notes, I do feel like I have to blow into my hand a bit harder. But I don't know if that's because that's what you're supposed to do or whether it's just because my technique still sucks. Anyways, I can do different notes, so let's see if I can do this woodpecker.
Close enough. I mean, not bad.
So we can do different notes now, but birds don't just go They can also go What I'm trying to say is that birds don't just hit different notes. Sometimes there's a smooth transition between them. And that's what we're going to have to work on if we want to get our next bird call, which is from the loon. So we have the different grips for the different notes, and I guess we just have to gradually move our hands between those positions to create those smooth transitions. So yeah, pretty easy. Update report. So turns out this is impossible. Smoothly transitioning your hand between those different grips without breaking the seal is so much harder than I thought. When I'm opening this bottom hand, the seal just always seems to break, which just completely stops the whistle. So I practiced the movement whilst really focusing on trying to maintain that seal. And after a while,
that was smooth.
So let's see if I can do this loon call.
How about that? How about that?
That sounded pretty good, but the loon call is quite slow, and I think we can go faster. So I'm also going to try and copy the titmouse. And yes, that is a real bird name.
It's tough. Tough. Tough.
So we can do the different notes and we can transition smoothly between them. What's next? Well, this is where things get impossible. Let me introduce you to the M&M of the bird world, the Carolina wren. This bird can flutter really fast, and to be honest, I don't even know if it's possible to replicate this. So to start, I'm just going to try moving my hand like ungodly fast to see if I can get anywhere close to this. I mean, it's not what we're looking for, but it does sound kind of cool. Despite my best efforts, I just couldn't move my hands fast enough. I did some serious digging, and all I could find was one video of a guy doing it. That's it. And so while you're blowing out, you also kind of want to, like, it's like rolling your R's. So you want to, while you're blowing out, while you have the perfect hand grip, while you're blowing out the correct strength. This just seems crazy. So despite the craziness, I started practicing.
I think that is as close as we're gonna get. I mean,
I've been doing that for over an hour, and that's as close as I've gotten. So I'll keep on practicing, and if one day I do get it, I'll post a follow-up video explaining how I did it. But anyways, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao! Boop.